Stupid little kiss turn into all this. I knew it from the start. I never braced my heart.
Hi, Jed Gottlieb from the Boston Herald, another Guestlisted guitar, this time with Brynn Elliott. How are you?
So well, how are you?
Singer, songwriter,
yes.
Harvard senior,
yes.
Ready to finish up?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes, definitely.
You spent a lot of time early on like jumping around from school to the road and school to the road, but this year you've stayed a little more local, or no?
I have. Actually,
nice?
That was my intention.
Yeah.
This summer when I came, we had a show in Boston on the road. We were on the road for 7 weeks, and we came back to Boston, and I was like, this is home.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that I realized that, and so my intention this semester was just to be here and to like understand what it means to be a musician in Boston, which I feel like I'm just starting to learn.
You kind of started out when you finished high school in more of a singer-songwriter, country-ish vein, and you've sort of evolved into pop.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about how that happened and, sort of that transition?
Yeah, I think where that started was I came to college and kind of before my sophomore year and when I started writing songs in high school, I was like, I want to write songs about really deep philosophy and like things that are like very meaningful, like the beauty of trees and things like this. And I was like, I will not write breakup songs. I will not write about those things because, and part of it was just true. Just like I hadn't been in too many relationships. That wasn't really on my mind. I was just trying to get into college. And so that was what I was writing about. I was writing about books I read.
Yeah.
And then sophomore year, I was in this very intense relationship, and then we broke up, and I was like, oh, this is heartbreak. This is why I felt like initiated into this club of like what so many, like thousands upon thousands of musicians had always been writing about, which is heartbreak. And so, that sort of shifted me into kind of this less like acousticy, like in my own mind, into like, oh, actually I want to talk about things we can all relate on.
Yeah. Now the song Might Not Like Me has like a big pop production, but can you do a little bit of it on guitar and get sort of the feel, at least for the melody and the song?
Yeah, definitely.
What do you want?
Broke up with me. For the life of me, I couldn't figure out what I did wrong. I'm so sorry, 'cause I'm usually the first one to admit I did wrong. Get over yourself, it's no big deal if I run a little faster than you on the playground. Get over yourself, what's your problem? What's your problem? Well, if you don't like girls that are stronger than you, and if you don't like girls that are faster than you, and if you don't like girls that are smarter than you, well, then you might not like me, you might not like me,
And it's that same progression all the way through.
all the way through.
And this is like something that you see a lot in pop now, is that you see a simple progression, and all the changes are done in like the vocal melody and the intonation and stuff. And it's really interesting because, there is that hard change to the chorus, but, the chords just, they play along.
Yeah.
It's all about what you do with your voice
consistent.
and the vocal melody. It's very cool.
Yeah, which was new for me, but I think I would say that I'm primarily a singer, and so it was exciting for me to kind of have a song like that, because I felt like there was always like that tension between what I was playing and what I wanted to sing, and I don't know if it was like that's just musical knowledge that I needed, but it was so liberating. I think that was my thing, that like I felt like the pop genre was like, oh, I can sing the way I want to sing.
Yeah, right. You know? And that's something that, you know, I don't think people think about as much, is that, you know, if you're doing, you know, something that's a little more folky, it's going to be less oriented towards like, how important is this voice? How important is the vocal melody? Because you might have more chord changes, or the song may just be flatter in general.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
in pop, you know, you need these huge things. So.
And so for me, I think it's actually helped my songwriting in that I'm not trying to do all of this complicated stuff and not trying to learn how to be, you know, the best folk guitarist or singer, but just focus on what I wanted to focus on, which was just communicating ideas through songs. That's always been why I've been attracted to music, because I love listening to songwriters or bands that I like and hearing the ideas coming through in the music, but also in the lyrics. And I think the pop genre has allowed me to just simplify, and then has allowed me to talk about the things I want to talk about.
You're going to be around here for a while. What do you want to do next year? Obviously, you probably want to be on the road a lot, is my guess.
That's always my goal.
Yeah.
I fell in love with playing live music, and I think that's why I'm really pushing forward and writing songs, because I want to go and be able to play them in front of people and give them to people, and then see what people do with the things that I write. And so, that's my main goal. I want to live in Boston. Yeah. But if I could also not be here and be on the road, that would be amazing too. Yeah. I learned the E minor chord.
Yeah.
And
good start.
And then I learned the G chord and the C chord. And then eventually we got down here, and I was like, okay, this is.
Well, I mean, those so four fun. You can do a lot with.
Oh yeah,
get a lot
totally.
Yeah.
Constantly just using these chords.
Yeah.
But,
Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. It's good to hear sort of these. I always like to hear a pop song stripped down.
Yeah.
To see the bones of it, because you know it's a great song when you can hear it in different forms. You know.
Well, I actually, if I go and I write with like. Anyone who's like interested in tracks and stuff, I always am like, nope, we're not going to the computer. We write everything here. Like all my songs, like Might Not Like Me was all here, because it's all there. And, and so that's awesome.
Great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah.